Hey, it's Adina Johnson, and I am at work. I wanted to come with a little bit of girl chat story time. Um, I'm at work. You guys know I teach the divorce class for the state. Anybody that has children for the state of Florida, and they're going through a divorce, separation, or split up, they're court ordered to come to my class. And today, it's a doozy. Got about 40 people in the class, and sometimes I have classes like I was here Thursday night and I only had like 16 people in class, and if it was quiet and they weren't combative and excited. And it's very painful when someone has to deal with a separation, split up, and divorce, and have to deal with co-parenting with someone that's not cooperative. And I get it, I understand it. You guys can read in my book, Butterfly Blue, I had the same type of relationship Nick and I did with my child's other household. And it was very difficult. I get it. And I explain to them all the time, I don't get out of my bed on a Saturday morning just to come and tell you what I think or to tell you what I read in a book. I lived it. For my son lived in two separate households from the age of 3 till now. He's 22. And it was very difficult for years with me and Nick raising him, with another person, with another household. Many of you know our son, and I think I want to wait for for us to talk about it together and give you the whole background and the story of, his situation. So we'll probably make a video on that, but I just wanted to come and tell a little story time. Let me tell you real quick about my son. One time, he's 22 now. We have a 22-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And actually, this is August 2019. And so we'll actually, my daughter's birthday is on Tuesday. She'll be 6. And it makes me sad because she's growing up. And then my son, his birthday is August 25th, and he'll be 9. So we have a couple kids there, 3. And but my 22-year-old, when he was 13, he basically had a situation. His birthday was on Christmas Day, and it is on Christmas Day still. And when he was at a private school, a small private school, I would take punch, pizza, and cake to the school. And the one year he went to public school, this child lost his mind. He was 13. He was very hormonal. He was fighting with everybody, and he went to school. And at the time, I was driving like an hour and a half every day to take him to school, and to drop him off to school. I would go pick him up from his other parents' house and drive him to school every morning. And I always, with my kids, we give out, beginning of the year gifts, Christmas gifts, and then end of the year gifts, and gifts, during the school. Just at any time, we give out gifts to the teachers just to support, because teachers are amazing and they are just undervalued. And so we just always like to show our children to love and support their teachers. And so this particular year, when he was 13, he went to public school for 1 year. I had worked it out with one of his teachers to do cake, punch, and pizza with their class. And so me and my son went to give out gifts to the different teachers, and his math teacher said, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And I'm like, "What's the problem? What's going on?" And he goes, "Your son has 9 zeros in my class." Excuse me? 9 zeros? I said, "Okay, sir, thank you so much." Because when you make a 0 in a class, that means you're doing nothing. So I had to breathe. I was like, okay. And I'm pretty sure I was getting on him the whole time. We went back to the other class where the cake, the punch, and the pizza. And at that point, the kids had come into class and they could smell the pizza and they were excited for the party. And I pulled his teacher out of the class and I was like, "Sir, I need to leave." And he goes, "Okay, well, you can leave. Why don't you just leave the cake, the punch, and the pizza, and I'll, do the party. The kids are excited. They're ready for the party." I said, "No, sir. I am going to leave. He has 9 zeros in his math class. And I'm going to leave, and I am going to take the cake, the punch, and the pizza with me." And he goes, no, you can leave the party. I said, no, sir, you don't understand. You cannot come to school and do nothing. I said, do you see this whole row of lockers? I envision myself taking this child and making his head hit every lock on these lockers. And if I miss a lock, I will back him up and start the process over. He said, have a good day, ma'am. And that was the year I canceled Christmas. I forbid anyone in either household to give him anything for his birthday or Christmas because you cannot go to school and do nothing. Totally unacceptable. And so it just worked out. He straightened up, he passed that class, and he got it together because it is so unacceptable for you not to do what you need to do to properly get your education. Education is very important. And so we gave my son the message that year, and he comes back and tells us, I know what it feels like not to get something for Christmas. No, you know what it feels like not to get something for Christmas because of your actions. And so just to avoid any type of problems, he got the message that year. He did not get one thing for Christmas because you can't go to school and do nothing. And I took the cake and the punch and the pizza to Nick's job for his coworkers, and they were like, man, I want him to get in trouble again. I was like, not good. But I put a message out there to my son, you cannot do this. This is unacceptable. And, you know, I could count on my hand how many times we spanked him. I think I may have spanked him 4 times because we're just not a physical family. And I know for a fact, I think his last spanking was like at 5. And Nick can talk about that one because it was horrible. I'm not going to tell you what he did. Well, let me just tell you real quick. We went to Disney World. We went to Orlando, and we went to a restaurant. And this kid asked me on the way inside the restaurant, could he have a piece of gum? So I gave him a piece of gum. He gets in the restaurant and pulls a piece of gum from under the table and chews it. So Nick took him in the bathroom. And he's doing more praying for the child than anything. And I think he might have popped him like 3 times. But it was like, why would you chew gum from under the table? That's so disgusting. And I gave you gum. You asked for gum and I gave it to you. It's one thing if I said no, you couldn't have it. But I gave him gum and he still went under the table and chewed gum. So that was our son. He was always getting into stuff, always in trouble. Canceling Christmas. I mean... And I guess it's just him. Our 8-year-old, he's in a lot of trouble too. He's a boy too. It's like our daughter. She gets in her moods and she gets in some trouble, but not as much as those boys. Those boys were always doing something. Chewing gum under the table, 9 zeros in your math class. But that's the joys of parenting, and I wouldn't change it for the world. We love it. We love being parents. And so I just wanted to come with a little story time. Again, I'm at work right now. So my partner is teaching the divorce class. He's doing his segment, and I'm so glad that it's 2 of us that teach the class because I can walk away and I can take a break and I can decompress because there's a lot of emotions right now. We're talking about people's families and individuals being split up and going through divorce and wanting to see their children. And it just gets very taxing emotionally, because you're dealing with people's families and their children. And so it does get emotional, but I come with the experience and the situation where we've had to do it too. So it's Nik and Adinah. This is just Adinah, and it's a girl chat, and I just wanted to come to you guys, and I'll remember to get Nick to talk about our parenting situation with our older child and how that worked out and how it came about. So like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.